Hi, these are going to be the notes that go on page 12B in your notebook. So this first paper, the half sheet in the front, I just want you to see how everything that we've been doing is connected. So when we look here, it says slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and we're going to use the example for this page of y equals 2x plus 3. So we know that our slope, is 2, and our beginning point, our y-intercept, is 3. So we could even break it a little further. We know if our slope is 2, that means the change in y over the change in x would equal 2. And so you can make it look like a fraction, 2 over 1. So y changes 2 every time x changes 1. We can use the triangle to represent the word change because it looks a lot like the delta sign in Greek, and delta in math can stand for change. So this stands for change in y over change in x. Now, when we look over here at the table of values, there's a couple different ways that now you can decide how you want to fill out a table of values. So you can pick your x's. So I always try to put a negative in there as well. So -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. And our y values, we know that our beginning point, our y-intercept, is 3. So we know when x is 0, y has to be 3. So this one we know. Now to decide what the other ones are going to be, if your slope is 2, that means it's changing 2 every time. So to begin with, you'd go backwards. So you could subtract 2. So then 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9. And so the change, the slope, remember that's always going to have the same fraction, change in y over change in x. So 2 over 1 is the slope, which just means that your y is changed by 2, your x is changed by 1. Okay? If you would like, another way to do it is to plug in your x values and find out what y is. So you see your formula over here, y equals 2x plus 3. You can plug in your x, so 2 times -1 plus 3. So over here, that looks like this. 2 times -1 is -2, plus 3 is a positive 1. You can do it with the next one as well. Plug in 0. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. And that's another way you can get your y values. Either way is fine with me. The next question says, is the given line increasing or decreasing? And explain. Well, it is increasing because the slope is positive. And you're going to read a graph the way you will a book from left to right. So when we get over to the graphing part, you will see that from left to right, this graph is going up. That means it's an increasing line. Does the given line pass through the origin? Explain. I said no. If it did, when x equals 0, so would y. So the origin is the point 0, 0. So if you look at the table, when the x was 0, the y was 3. Therefore, it will not go through the origin. Over here, another way that you could look at this is, does the given line pass through 5, -7? And so what you can do is you can plug it in. So we have our y equals 2x plus 3. And then we're going to plug in what we know. So we know that y is -7 equals 2 times our x, which is 5, plus 3. So we just plugged in x and y where they go in the formula. And I put a question mark over it because we don't know if it equals. It will only pass through this line if this equals each other. So, oh my goodness, I realize I just made a mistake. So I'm going to change this after the video is over. So 2 times 5, this should be 10. Make sure this says 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So you should have -7 equals 13. That is not true, therefore it doesn't go through the line. Again, please make sure you've changed that to 13. Change this to 10 and this to 13, or I will not stamp this paper green. So you guys fix this. It'll be my test if you're listening. And we already know this, that our independent variable, that's our x value, If it is given in a real world situation, normally it will be our time. And then our dependent variable is our y. And it is our, it depends on the independent variable. So then when we go to graph this, there's a couple different ways that you can graph. One is you can use your points and you can plot them. So we could plot -1, 1, 0, 3, 1, 5, 2, 7, 3, 9, and you can plot the points from the table of values. However, what I want you guys to start seeing is that you can also use what we know about slope and y-intercept to come up with your line. So we're going to, for our B, sorry, cut off the picture, we begin at 3. So that is our y-intercept. So you can put a point at 1, 2, 3. So right over top of my little hand right there, that is your beginning point. That's your y-intercept. It's where it crosses the y-axis. So that's where you start. And then your slope, remember the change in y is 2 and the change in x is 1. So you can go up 2 over 1. And that's how you can come up with your next point. You can continue to do that, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. You could go backwards, down 2 over 1 backwards, down 2 left, down 2 left 1. And that will be your line. So that is how you can complete the first of the pages on page 12B. Tune into the next video for the inside.